on Instagram I have had at that time around.
This is the picture you choose, my man? Man, you're trying to get some pum pum or selling some houses? What is it? Listen, all I thought I could get from this situation was a pair of goofballs who have no self-awareness about what they do, to the point of believing that they're alpha males and, you know, they won't pay for box and they lead by example when they don't do any of the shit that they preach, basically. But at some point you cross a line where I just can't go for shit and giggles. I was carrying a bag of fertilizer not 10 minutes ago, and I have more respect for that bag of fertilizer than I have for these two shitheads. Because there's nothing more annoying than two perceived high-value men and alpha males who basically feel comfortable sending a legion of insecure men. And this is not an offense to those men. We all been there. But these guys that use insecure men to attack others is beyond me. Again, Preach. The reason why I wasn't taking that much of a big deal, because I know Preach would lay that fool on the floor, both of them on the floor in just like 2 seconds, okay? Preach is a beast. So Anna Quinn, which is the woman behind that infamous by now screenshot where you see Myron's game, amazing game, recently released a video, Lies Exposed, Fresh and Fit and Frauds, which is, I don't understand the repetition, they're the same thing. Also, let me just do a quick shout out before we get into it to Blacklight Revelations. He was the first guy that it got recommended to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about this video. And I fuck with the guy's vibe. I really like him. He made videos about this as well. I would recommend checking them. Make sure to also check his channel and Anna Quinn's herself, right?
And I just want to share what's going on because this is someone who claims to be a male self-improvement podcast, the top, the best. And they are creating a culture of hateful, mean, I'm not going to continue commenting, but just they're creating a disgusting culture of men who treat women like crap.
So let me start off by this point, okay? Obviously, I know that she doesn't mean all. And here's the thing. I'm also not going to advocate for anything. I understand the red pill community, though, okay? I understand the reason to exist. I think even Myron and Preach themselves already admit this, right? That there's a lot of men who go through the most traumatic experience on the hands of women that we cannot even imagine going through. Sometimes just, something that a lot of people don't perceive as traumatic, but like 20 years of a marriage of absolutely psychological terror. Listen, I understand there's a lot of reasons for men not to marry women. Like nowadays, maybe we could men going their own way, which is the MG Toho whole thing. Here's the problem with these red pill communities though. They will aggregate all this pain. And from pain and hate, nothing good ever comes out. It's a loop. And when you put all these men who are hurt and they all think alike, you're gonna start having a community that is not very prone to listening to women and hearing out what they have to say in return. Okay, they're tired of that. And I understand that reaction, but listen, that's how ignorance is bred. So I would like to highlight this point, how true it is that the community, not all men, okay, I understand that, but a lot of the people who do follow these guys, as we're gonna see plenty of evidence, are just empty shells. What is there supposed to be their brains? Empty shells. And that's kind of the reason why I like Evan Preach, because as a young man, for example, they helped me a lot. Not just like pandering to my feelings as a man, but when you look into the comment section, is one of the most diverse ever. You have people from multiple colors, multiple genders, and you see plenty of times women recognize like, oh, this is so fucked up for men, and I like that. Right? But it doesn't really pander, it will give the reality. There's a lot of situations where Evan Preacher goes like, hey man, you also don't understand how women think about this. So there's no competition. I'm sorry for the personal, I guess, note, but this is how I feel. One of the things that drove me away from watching their podcast is the community is so trash. I swear most of these guys eat shit for breakfast. I understand a lot of communities, they will always have the bad apples, but Fresh and Fit are not really concerned about good apples. They don't want that because good apples don't bring money. Even though that's ironic as fuck. In the real world, he would, but in this case, bad apples. I guess it's a market about tossing apples at cars. The bad apples are the best ones.
On Instagram, I have had at that time around.
This is the picture you choose, my man. Man, you're trying to get some pum pum or selling some houses? What is it? I'm just joking. Don't feel bad though.
I actually responded to the DM and I was like, hey, what's up? He said, let's do a collab. I was like, okay, cool. He said, okay, cool. I'm up for that. I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. And I thought he was reaching out for a collaboration because we're both well known in the fitness industry.
Bro, all that is going through my mind right now is imagine if Susan, YouTube CEO just, hey, how bad do you want this 100,000 subscriber button, huh? I'm not looking for something platonic though. Oh, damn. Do you understand how pathetic that sounds, my man? That is, wow, man. Alpha male my ass, dude.
He said, no, don't mean to be an a-hole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. And I said, well, same, we have plenty of men here in California, so why would I fly to Miami to date someone who I know nothing about? And he said, simple, attractive women are common, high value men are not.
Bro, you're fucking goofy. That's fucking goofy. Carmelo, I need your help. I need your help. This man doesn't know how to be high value. I really hope Carmelo's not doing some wild shit either. Bro, how can you be like seriously? Yeah, if you still worth believing like, oh, you know, like the women that pop in there are not that goofy. Apparently they have to be attractive. That's why he wants them. And listen, a point could have been made that we need attractive women so that we can see the same mentality if the mentality is replicated and stuff like that, but that's clearly not his objective.
So then I screenshotted our conversation, blocked out his name, and
That's important to note, alright? She blurred his name or scratched, whatever. So they're her fans. They don't even know who this guy is. If this guy truly is high value, it doesn't matter. She hid his name. Please remember that.
It's just like he dismissed me as an attractive woman, but not a high value man, or not a high value woman. And, you know, I don't know anything about this guy, so for him to tell me that he's this high value man when you're having to use your show to get women.
Haven't you heard? That's a new strat. You're not paying for box, they're just using Clout for it. Come on. Why have game if lack of self-awareness is all you gotta do? Like, hey, shortcuts. This man is... he's the revolution, alright? Obviously, you can't talk about any of that shit on the podcast. Like, someone who, like, hey, he just turns his head and looks at a girl the right way. The pen is already in the floor, sink to the ground, wetter than a camel's back. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. In fact, a camel. enough. You got what I'm saying, right?
Through all that effort with a poll, etc. Go ahead and screenshot the conversation, Clout Chase.
So this is where his group of mongrels could also come around and be like, but she did it first, she did. He asked for that shit. He literally asked her, hey, put my dumbass on fire. And so she did. Because initially she, as we saw, she scratched out the name. She wasn't really about trying to get the cloud. No one knew who this guy was. So don't come with that bullshit like, oh, she was trying to do this for cloud or not. He asked. She initially didn't care. She wasn't trying to put him on public blast, let's call it.
So at this point, this is where Myron lied and told everyone that I started threatening him.
And she blurted out my name. And then she sent me a DM saying like, you should probably rethink how you talk to women, blah, 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 trying to shame me and say like, I can expose you. She's like, I'll expose you. I was like, do it, bitch. Like, go ahead. Like,
so this man, again, is so alpha. So goddamn alpha that he has to lie about what happened. Yeah, this woman was very threatful. Telling someone like, hey, maybe I should show on your podcast to actually show you how to behave with women is the same thing as putting his ass on blast to him, which goes with no surprise because when Aaron preached just, hey, listen, you're capping about legalizing pum pum because you do this and that. Like, actually, they didn't even mention them initially. They just countered the topics that they, like their ideas. They weren't even saying like, oh, fresh, you pay for the, like, they weren't even going with that. These guys don't respond well when someone tells them like, I could educate you. And I always loved when they do this when no one is in their face, as we've seen before with the blue pill. I don't remember.
Specifically, you felt like we were kind of blue pilled, right?
Well, from what I remember, I'm trying to remember. I would say, I'm trying to think, like, which video was?
Yes, you do. You just like to be a person with integrity. But hey.
And then he said, all you'll do is cement my reputation, blah, blah, blah. You don't like it, that's not my problem.
Bro, read that shit. All you do is cement my reputation for not lying to women and being honest. This motherfucker is really trying to sound like he's protecting women. Shut up. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Don't come with this pseudo white knight shit, okay? No, this is actually for me to be honest with them. This is what they want. Like, I'm just an honest man. You're not an honest man. Especially when you're doing behind people's back, by the way. And then secondly, you are doing this for women when you clearly show a very selfish attitude. A very self-centered. It's not even man-centered. You don't give a shit about other men. You'll easily offend their wives. So it's a self-centric approach that you have. But I'm expected to believe, or anyone to believe, to cement your reputation that I never knew that you had a reputation for being honest with women, by the way. Because using that, like using your show as leverage for honest, as long as you're not lying. How is honesty like a one-tier thing for you? Considering the way that you teach men to not do the kind of shit that you're doing? Are you fucking for real? But now is where we actually go to the juicy part, the thing that you wanted to see. So why are they breaking any line? I didn't see anything that I already seen before. We know they're pathetic, especially Myron, that he doesn't have any game. Well...
But I'm making a video about it now because I'm getting harassed daily by his following and by his people. Myron told everyone, the guys on the podcast told everyone to put my Instagram handle in their bio or in their little messenger, or I don't know how YouTube videos work like that.
Stuff, and then she blocked me because she was like, "Oh, okay, this dude, I can't hurt him by trying to embarrass him." Like,
what's her Instagram again? It goes something like
Anna Quinn Fitness.
Oh,
there you go. Anna Quinn
Oh.
Fitness. Y'all want to roast her? I don't care.
snap.
She wanted to smoke. Okay. Now you got to deal with that. Now you got to get embarrassed and look stupid and all this other shit.
Someone put her Instagram in the chat.
Can we see her Instagram real quick?
It might have been me.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you want to pull it up?
I would love to see her Instagram. I'll be honest with you.
Goes without surprise that Fresh is the goofy one that admits to, like, yeah, I'm fucking up. Yeah, I'm fucking up. Yeah, it was me. Guys. All right. I have, what, 13.1 thousand subscribers because of you beautiful people? Okay. I read the fucking TOS almost twice. I like to do that shit, alright? When I started my bank account, it took me a whole day to read the contract before I sign any shit. I'm like that. Even though everyone has a bank account, there was nothing special about it. I just wanted to see what I'm getting myself into. The same thing with the partner program on YouTube. And I can assure you that you're breaking TOS by brigading, which is the official term. I even got it ready here. On Urban Dictionary, for those wondering, brigading, a concentrated effort by one online group or personality to manipulate another. By example, by mass commenting. Reddit has 5 rules, no brigading is rule number 2. Almost every social media has this rule. And then you have the definition for soft top if you're interested. Keep it classy, Urban Dictionary. And if you actually read the first comment, who are they? Oh, look at that, Ab and Preach. Lel, they doxed you. Absolute nonsense. I think docs would actually be publishing private information, I guess. But again, brigading is not allowed. Telling people to, and you know, his audience is not going to engage in the philosophical discussion. When you send your immature ass fucking audience, of course it's going to happen. And I saw in one of these, let me see if I can find the comment section because it's beautiful. There you go. Search it yourself. I'm not going to do the same thing. This guy is also, I don't want to give him attention, so I'm just going to read a comment. How many times are you going to continuously lie about this? You even put a video on here and it clearly shows that they never told any of their followers you. Do you listen? Telling guys, hey, the link is in the description, link is in the chat. Go roast her. What part of that is not brigading your fans towards her? How is that fit in your what, bro? Well, listen, this is just a random neckbeard fuckhead, right? You just with Dorito fucking fingers having a meltdown in front of a keyboard. That's normal. That's regular. The most insecure shit I could ever see from a man doing, by the way.
I get at least 5 messages a day of people telling me I'm telling me to go. People commenting on my pregnancy announcement video, telling me I've been sleeping around, just awful comments.
Again, the whole video, I recommend you watching the whole thing, okay? We've been having some laughs and showing how hypocritical these guys are and shit like that. And again, I wasn't worried about Preach because Preach is a full grown ass man. He's older than me. So I wasn't worried. He can defend himself and his wife and his country. But when you mess with this, like sending people to do this kind of shit to a pregnant woman, she doesn't even have to be pregnant, of course. But especially just to mess with things that are not related. Dude, you haven't changed. That's why I don't believe the slightest of your fucking apology. I'm not gonna ask for subscription. Just like the video. Let's see how many people can watch this stuff. Okay? And watch about Nixon talks, Black Light revelations, or anyone else who's talking about the situation. Go give them the view. Alright, I've seen a lot of channels who never cover Ab and Preach or whatever talk about this. So let's see if we can do this. Alright, like the video. Let's blow this shit up. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.